Are you in that? When the superstorm comes, a glimpse into the endless flood, hidden something that can devour heaven and earth, an unspeakable existence. 3 years ago, I've finally had enough of those pavilions in big cities. Endless blessings in the child room, with all your belongings. And a Chinese pastoral dog named Wang Fu returned to his hometown in Sichuan. It's a building that sits on the edge of the basin. A small village, gently surrounded by mountains. My ancestral home is there. I spent money to renovate Lao Wu. Every day begins with the chirping of birds and the flying of dogs. The days of receiving orders and writing code remotely, I thought. The digital nomad life of this idyllic room will last until my hair turns gray, but I still think too beautifully. The mountains here. Since ancient times, there have been some mysterious legends. Has a special connection. Grandpa was still trying. I like to tell me stories on a summer night on a bench. He said that those middle-aged people, you can't enter the mountains with thick fog. Inside is a mysterious array left by the ancient Shu kingdom. He also said that if it rains heavily for several days in a row, river surge. That's having a relationship. You have to follow the flood to the river and enter the sea. Practice Jackie Chan. At that time, people on both sides of the strait had to close their doors and windows. Never spy, otherwise it will cause disaster. I always think of this as bedtime story, like those dug up from the nearby 3-star pile. Bizarre bronze mask. It belongs to a long-forgotten, an ancient world full of fantasies. That afternoon, everything was normal. Weather forecast app. The rainstorm warning jumped from yellow to orange. From orange to red again. Push news headlines on your phone. One is scarier than the other. A once-in-a-century storm strikes. But I didn't take it too seriously. Children who grew up in the mountains. They're used to thunderstorms. I'm even a little leisurely. I soaked myself a pot of bamboo leaf green. Sit in the porch. Look at the distant skyline. How to be blackened, inch by ink like clouds. Wang Fu looked a little uneasy. He gave up the chase. A lone dragonfly clung to my feet, whining sound in throat. I touched his head and laughed, coward. Thunder will scare you like this. Here comes the fairy. It was a gentle draft at first, with the moisture of the grass and soil in the mountain forest. Soon the wind is sudden. Whistling came from all directions, like countless invisible beasts, running bald in the valleys. The female bamboo in the roaring yard. It's crushed into an amazing arc, as if it could break at any moment. Then the rain fell, not drop by drop, but piece by piece. It was as if someone had poured water directly from the sky, in seconds. The sound of rain is connected. There is only one sound left in the world. It's like being under a huge waterfall. The blue tile roof was smashed and banged. I'm starting to wonder if he'll make it. I called Wang Fu into the house. Close all doors and windows. The room was instantly quieter, but also more dull. I turned on the lights. The dim light gave me a hint. False sense of security. Just then, a bolt of lightning pierced the dim sky. I was stunned. That lightning bolt is red, not orange in the sunset. It's not neon pink. It's a pure, palpable, deep red like fresh blood. It's like a giant red blood vessel, wriggling branches spreading in thick clouds. It's a layer that we've all seen around the world. Hells of hell. My technocratic brain started working like crazy, trying to make sense of the scene in front of you. Find a reasonable explanation. Atmospheric composition anomaly. A rare electrical discharge. but all my knowledge can't explain the strange phenomenon. Then came the thunder. That's not crisp thunder, but an extremely dull, like a loud noise from the depths of the earth. It sent tingles through my chest. The red dragon exploded with another red thunder. The light bulb in the room flickered violently twice, and then Wanfu and I fell into complete darkness together. The power went out. The fragility of modern civilization is exposed at this moment. There's no electricity. I was stripped of my identity, turned back into a person in front of the might of nature. The shivering primitive. Fear is like a cold vine. Start at the bottom of my feet and climb up. Wang Fu's reaction was more intense than mine. He's no longer whimpering. It sent out something I had never heard before. Full of jealousy, howls of fear and warning. His hair stood on end, like an angry hedgehog, crazy head arching. Push me towards the second floor. Don't be afraid, Wang Fu. It's okay. My voice is shaking. I can't even convince myself. But Wang Fu insisted. He was biting my pant leg, almost dragged me up the wooden ladder to the attic. That attic was built by my family. There's a little skylight. Now he has become the target of Wang Fu's warning. Wang Fu stared at the skylight. The growl in my throat grew louder and louder. My heart is beating in my throat. A strong curiosity overwhelmed fear. I appeased Wang Fu. Slowly get closer to the skylight. Through the glass initialized by the storm, looking out at the red lightning, repeatedly illuminated madness, world. Just as the next red light tore the sky apart, I see it, my brain. For a few seconds, it was a complete swing, unable to process the information seen by the eye. In the thick, inky clouds rolling, something is moving. At first I thought it was a mountain, but how could a mountain move? His silhouette is extremely large. Avenue, completely beyond my cognitive limits of biology. He's not like any creature I know, more like a living piece, a continent full of folds and furrows. His skin took on a rocky texture, but in the light of lightning, I can see liquid flowing slowly on it, like a waterfall on a mountain. He moves very slowly, but with an unrivaled sense of oppression, immediately following a sound that does not belong to thunder. Wang Ming, a low voice that did not belong to the wind, penetrated the glass, penetrated my eardrum, resonates directly inside my skull. It sounded like the heavy breathing of some giant beast. Every time I spit, the air trembled. The story my grandfather told exploded in my mind. This is not out of focus. The flood dragon in that story is compared to this thing in front of you. Small, like a loach. This is more like what only appears in those ancient beasts that hold up the sky and the earth. The book describes them as thousands of miles away. I thought it was an exaggerated imagination of the ancients, but now I understand. Perhaps the ancients were just recording truthfully. Have to get out of here. I can't stay here any longer. This old house, like an eggshell about to be crushed. I rolled and crawled downstairs with muscle memory. Grabbed the one that had been thrown at the corner in the dark. Falling emergency backpack. There are compressed cookies in it. First aid kit and a multi-purpose sapper shovel. And I whistled. Wang Fu immediately followed. I rushed to the garage, pressed the key to my domestic electric SUV. Lights on. Draw two beams of light in the darkness. Gave me great comfort. This car represents the creation of modern industrial civilization. Became my escape from this myth. The only hope for a place where reality meets. The car rushed into the rain. I feel like I'm driving a flat leaf. The boat plunged into the rough seas. The wipers are on the fastest, only on the windshield, draw two short and clear sectors. The cement road leading to the town is no longer visible, covered in mud and rocks brought by flash floods. I can only rely on memory, on the narrower chicken soup roads in the countryside. The wheel ran over the broken branch, splashing high mud. Everywhere the headlights go is a mess. The newly built two-story building of the neighbor's house. The entire roof was ripped off, like an open can. The wires on the side of the road are dry. Broken wires sparkled dangerously in the water. After driving about 5 kilometers, I slammed on the brakes. In front of the headlights were originally flat rice fields. Now there is a huge, irregular depression. The sunken edge is extremely smooth. It's like being dug by an incomparably huge spoon, gone a piece. I understood immediately. This is the trace he left as he passed by. Maybe footprints. Maybe it's just a part of the body rubbed against it. My heart is half cold. I didn't know where to go. Mortals seem to lurk in all directions. Incomprehensible horror, miracle. I can only choose a path higher up. Hopefully, we can get around this area. The car jolted on the rough mountain road. Wanfu hummed uneasily beside me. I hold the steering wheel tightly. Palms are sweaty. I don't know how long it has been. The terrain ahead suddenly brightened. I drove the car on a normal day, a viewing platform for tourists. And then I saw it, and I will never forget it. Maybe can never describe a clear scene to anyone. Under my feet, what was supposed to be a vast basin, a huge pit appeared. Its scale far exceeds any geological phenomenon. I stand on the mountainside, but I can't see his boundaries at all. He has a gaping wound to the earth that is bottomless. The sky above the center of the crater. No more clouds, but a slowly rotating, huge blood-red vortex. Those red bolts of lightning. It is from this vortex that bursts out, and right under that vortex, in the pit, I saw more than one of him. 3, maybe 4, behemoth, their body. Most are hidden in clouds and torrential rain. I can see them coming alive like mountains. Those flowing waterfalls on the skin, glittering in the red sky. Their goal. It's the blood-red vortex in the sky. One of the giants. It lifts what looks like a head. Made a distant sound. A dull and unearthly tweet. That voice is majestic and ancient. It reminded me of the legend of the ancient Shu kingdom. Those divine trees that can communicate with heaven and earth. And the silkworm king of the feather lamp fairy. My survival instinct made me slam the steering wheel. Escape this viewing platform as quickly as possible. I raced down the mountain road. Put your foot on the accelerator. My only thought was to get as far away from there as possible. I don't know how long I've been driving. Maybe 2 hours. Maybe 3. When the only battery left in the car issues a warning. I finally broke out of the storm. The sky in the rearview mirror is still lightning and thunder, and the sky ahead of me is already bright. The rainstorm turned into a patter of light rain. I drove into a strange town, pulled over to the side of the road, turned on the phone. The signal that had been missing for hours finally came back. Countless announcements and news. The push came flooding in. I clicked on a few official news at the top. Our province encountered a once-in-a-century encounter yesterday night. Superconvective weather, forming a rare supercell storm structure. This led to severe flooding in many places. Remember geological disasters? Renowned meteorologist Professor Chen said, the red lightning in this storm, for a The phenomenon of red sprites produced in high-altitude electrical discharges, although rare, but it is a known natural phenomenon for the huge potholes that have appeared in some areas. Geological Exploration Department. The preliminary judgment is that it is rare, caused by heavy rain, large karst. Bottom line, I gave an inexplicable wry smile, looking at the blurry mountains in the distance, those scary and crazy myths. Maybe it will happen again, but little us, maybe all along, will not appear in this story.